This is Reverse Reset Restore, the podcast that aims to help you rediscover who you are by reversing your harmful thoughts, reset your negative behaviors, and restore your relationship with yourself. I'm your host, Sally, and I use a variety of techniques to rewrite my own damaging beliefs. You can too. Change comes from within. Just a heads up that this episode shares a couple of poems and a brief mention of suicide that may be upsetting to some listeners. This is a gentle reminder to practice kindness to yourself should today's episode bring up any thoughts or feelings you may struggle with. I've included chapters for the poems which are near the end of this episode, so feel free to skip past them if you need to. One is about grief after I lost a friend to suicide, and one is about dementia. I know these two topics can be, sadly, all too relatable, so protect yourself if you aren't in a space to hear them. It's okay to take a break or even skip this episode if you need to. Sometimes when we are doing internal and external work to reshape our lives, behaviors and choices, we just need to give ourselves permission to rest. If anything comes up in this episode or any of these episodes, I encourage you to find a trusted therapist to work alongside you. Welcome to Reverse Reset Restore. If you are joining me for the very first time, I love it and I'm so happy you are here. Today is an extra special episode for me as a writer and as part of our special series on self-care, so you've picked a great day to begin to listen. And welcome back to my returning listeners. You are amazing and I'm so grateful for your support and for your trust in me. It might surprise you that one of the most powerful tools for self-care is creative writing. That's what today's episode is all about. I've titled it Poetry and Prose, and the idea is to get you writing as part of your self-care practice. This is part of our 31 days of self-care, 31 specialist episodes dedicated to finding ways to look after yourself as part of Mental Health Awareness Month here in Australia. Now, you don't need to be a literary genius to reap the benefits of writing. The act of expressing your thoughts and emotions through writing can be deeply therapeutic. In this episode, we'll explore how writing poetry or prose or any type of creative writing you feel like can significantly enhance your self-care routine and promote personal growth. I have been a writer before I could actually write. One of my aunties, hello Lily, still has some of my very first stories. I dictated to her at around the ages of 4 and 5. For me, writing has always been a passion, and I have held an understanding of its value in expressing myself. I'll share a couple of my poems at the end of this episode, and maybe a few more on our Instagram page using the hashtag Poetry and Prose. You can share your writing there too if you want. Before we get into the creative stuff though, I want to talk about the growing body of research and studies that highlight the positive impact of creative writing as a self-care practice. While creative writing encompasses various forms including poetry, journaling, storytelling and more, the benefits are consistent across these practices. Here are some key findings from research on the subject. Emotional expression and processing. Numerous studies have shown that creative writing allows individuals to express and process complex emotions. By putting thoughts and feelings into words, people can gain a deeper understanding of their inner worlds, leading to emotional relief and healing. Stress reduction. Research published in the journal Psychosomatic Medicine found that expressive writing such as journaling or creative writing can reduce stress and improve overall well-being. The act of writing about stressful experiences helps individuals make sense of those experiences and reduces their emotional impact. Improved mood and mental health. Creative writing has been linked to improvements in mood and mental health. A study in the journal Psychotherapy Research demonstrated that expressive writing can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety. Engaging in creative writing can be especially helpful during challenging times. Enhanced creativity. Engaging in creative writing, whether through poetry, short stories, or other forms, nurtures your creativity. This creative process can spill over into other aspects of your life, fostering innovative thinking and problem-solving skills. Self-reflection and self-discovery. Researchers have found that creative writing promotes self-reflection and self-discovery. By exploring one's thoughts and experiences through writing, individuals gain insights into their values, their beliefs, and their personal growth opportunities. Improved communication. Writing creatively enhances your communication skills. This is particularly beneficial for personal relationships as it encourages you to express yourself more clearly and more empathetically. And enhanced resilience. Creative writing can help individuals cope with difficult life events and build resilience. By transforming negative experiences into art, people can reframe their narratives and find meaning in adversity. While these findings highlight the benefits of creative writing for self-care, I know this may not be for everyone. Like all our self-care practices we're trying out this month, some individuals may find it more therapeutic than others. Incorporating poetry into your self-care routine can be a transformative and fulfilling practice. I suggest that you give this practice a go, withholding your judgment or any preconceived notions you may have about creative writing. If the terminology poetry puts you off, don't think of it that way. I don't want you to stop yourself from trying something new because you're hung up on the wording. Remember, you're not aiming to be a professional writer here. In fact, not being a writer may offer you more benefits, as you likely won't be editing yourself quite the same as us writers tend to do. The aim of the game is to express your thoughts or feelings through creative writing, no perfection required. Whether you jot down a few lines in a journal or compose intricate verses, the act of expressing yourself can enhance your emotional well-being, boost your creativity, and empower you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. So grab a pen and let the healing power of creative writing become a cherished part of your self-care journey. As promised, here are a couple of poems I wrote some time ago. The first I wrote from the perspective of someone who is declining into dementia. The second is while I was suffering from a severe depressive episode and had just lost one of my best and dearest friends to suicide. Again, if you are not in the headspace to be able to listen to these, feel free to head off and finish this episode now. Nothing left of me. My body had been a temple. Now it is my tomb, the strength of my youth long lost, and soon there will be nothing left of me. Decay has set in and bore away a measure of myself, and I had measured myself in proclamations of my body's ability, the grace of flexibility and speed, the generosity of nature and genes and good old-fashioned hard work. I had bent it to my will, proclaimed I am master and maker, and soon there will be nothing left of me. My body, now a prison, a cage where I can feel myself slip away. Shadows of who I once was dance in the halls of my imagination. This bright young thing full of vigor and purpose, strength turned to dust. My body's betrayal, like a punchline to a bad joke, and I'm losing pieces of myself. Every day I feel it, just a little bit more. Pieces of who I am or used to be, fading away, fraying at the seams, and I barely recognize myself anymore. Snippets of peace clamber against the chaos of this war. My mind and body rages against me, its host, abandoned by my very source, and soon there will be nothing left of me, just a tired old body, withered by years, defiant and derelict in its duty, and soon there will be nothing left of me. The sorrow. The sorrow is a black stone that weighs me down. It is a harsh and frigid winter morning of pale grey light. It is a brisk feathered breeze off the ocean of your absence. The sorrow is found in the solitude of your silence, in each thought that trails back to you and lingers there. It lies in the pit of my belly, curling into a constant ache. The sorrow clings a mask of regret upon my face. Its eyes are an endless crimson sky, its mouth a gaping wound that swallows my heart in mournful wail. The sorrow feeds itself, expanding in this universe of in-between sky and reason, and burns out the sun in its pain, burdens the soul with things left undone, and smudges the edges of each new day. The sorrow brings little comfort or joy, a discoloration of content. It is every stolen breath. It is the end of peace. The sorrow is a season, long and slow like shadows that stretch out, tumbling and gushing like the ebb and flow on the sea of my hope, that soon a new dawn will come. Thank you for being here. If you liked this episode or know someone in your life that would, please hit that share button. And if you're feeling brave enough to share your poetry or prose, head on over to the Reverse Reset Restore Insta page and use the hashtag Poetry and Prose. It seems fitting to end our episode with one of the greatest American poets, Robert Frost. Frost wrote one of my favorite poems, The Road Not Taken. I've linked that into the show notes. As Frost so succinctly puts it when it comes to poetry, poetry is when an emotion has found its thought, and the thought has found words.